Good morning. Day 10 of the event window here at stop number 5, the Fiji Pro. And after 7 consecutive lay days, we're still waiting to get that third round underway. Nobody here is complaining though. The holiday may be coming to an end this morning though. Some swell turning up. We'll get the call on that soon. But before we do, we've got a big show coming your way. This is Dawn Patrol. I'm Ronnie Blakey. First up, we're going to have the founder of the Tavarua Island Resort, Dave Clark, run us through the history of this heart-shaped island, and then we're going to get all Homeland Security on Alejo Munez and have a look at what he packs in his bags for a trip to Fiji. And a little later on, we're also going to have a look at the perfect moments from years past here at the Fiji Pro. But we are still getting excited about those round 3 matchups. Joining me on the panel this morning, 89 World Champ Martin Potter. Morning, Potts.
Good morning, Ronnie.
What heat has you just jumping out of your skin? Who do you want to see get out there and do battle?
Well, to be honest with you, I think all of these heats are going to be absolutely amazing here in round number 3, but I think one that stands out for me that I'm really looking forward to seeing is Jeremy Flores, Josh Kerr. I think that's going to be a great battle. I mean, both guys are really good in the barrel. I think once that swell picks up, it's going to be on.
We did talk about that one a little bit yesterday, the Tavarua and Namotu rivalry alive and well. The team that was on the desk judging on that debate thought that Jeremy was going to get the nod. And he has to be the favourite. Such a strong competitor, and especially in the tube, and there is some swell on the way. Strider Wazalewski joining us. Strider.
Good morning, good morning.
Great to see you, mate. What heat are you looking forward to watching in that third round?
I like Heat 5. It's friendly fire for us here on Tavarua, but, you know, the comparison to the front side and the backhand, and seeing these two guys, you know, one of them's come here as a youngster and spent time as a boatman. He's really got the place wired. He's in the rhythm. He's staying in the boatman's beret. You know, he's getting the roots out of it. And then, you know, Wiggly Dantes, we've seen him already just lighting it up, looking smooth, looking strong. And you know what? He's just always in the right spot for waves out there. So it's going to be a good battle. A lot of knowledge in that heat. Yeah,
Heat 5, Connor Coff and Wiggly Dantes. And as you said, Wiggly looking a little bit more aggressive. So adding some real aggression to those smooth flowing turns. I love Heat 4. These guys were born on the same day, Geordie Smith, Kelly Slater. And a lot of people were just talking about Geordie's turns on the first day of competition and just how Andy Irons-esque he looked.
Yep.
So that is sort of shaping up to be an epic battle, and I think the edge might go to Geordie if the tubes aren't on offer. As soon as that wave is hollowing out, Kelly gets the nod for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Kelly knows every little piece of that reef down to a T. You know, Geordie's still kind of acquainting himself with the place, but out there yesterday afternoon, Geordie was laying down some serious rail. I think, as you said, if it's a barrel, you know, I think Kelly the nod, but with those big open face turns at the moment, you know, Geordie's becoming more and more comfortable with that. I also like heat number 3, Philippe Toledo, Dusty Payne. I mean, it's endless on how many good heats we're going to be watching in round 3, and I just can't wait to get this thing going.
Yeah, based on results, you'd give the nod to Felipe, but at this location, Dusty so comfortable with a bit of power in the surf.
Yep.
Could be an epic
final in Brazil, so
epic,
he's on a bit
exactly.
of a roll.
Epic test for Felipe too, up against one of the real power hounds on the tour. Someone else who's acquainting themselves with the lineup here at Cloudbreak every morning before we get the call is Rosie Hodge. Rosie, how was it this morning? Oh,
good morning, Mark. Here in the sunrise this morning was beautiful, but the waves not so much. Will we see the contest get underway today?
Yeah, incredible morning, another beautiful day in Fiji. The swell has come up a little bit, but it's that shorter period, a little bit broken up. Fun for everyone to have a surf, but we won't run any heats today, just kind of based on what we're expecting to come through the day tomorrow.
So, I mean, looking at that forecast, what are we seeing in the next few days?
It should be really great. Fingers crossed it's going to be an incredible finish, and everything on paper is showing it to be really, really strong swell, good long period, which is really good for Cloudbreak, light winds, so everything's coming together.
Nice. We've got a lot to look forward to, boys. Back to you.
Thank you, Rosie. And she missed that, but I was trying to give her raps. She has been surfing really well out there every morning, but there's the call. No competition today, but a good opportunity for the world's best to get themselves well and truly in tune with Cloudbreak before the swell starts to increase. And let's go ahead and bring up the Surfline forecast, because things are starting to look very promising for the rest of the window.
Yes, they are. You can see it coming around the corner there. We've had the pesky, you know, kind of swell up top there, kind of pushing us away, but now you can see it kind of funneling through, and that just comes right through the uprights. and the field goal is kicked, and you can see the swell coming straight for Fiji, which we're really hoping to have some great waves all the way through Friday. The forecast looks really strong. You never know what we're going to get out here in the middle of the ocean, but as you can see today, it's a nice, clean rise through the day. I mean, it looks like we've got more swell than we've had in a week out there, which is a great sign, obviously, but not enough to get what we want. And then through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, a constant build, 8 to 12 feet. Look at that solid swell for Friday to finish this thing off. Really could see some of those, amazing moments that we have seen in the past, those 10-point rides that we want to see.
Yeah. Offshore winds in the morning too, so, and that lower tide, I mean, it's a recipe for an amazing finish, so yeah.
Shaping up well, boys. Stay with us, because after the break, everyone's favourite, Joe Tapel, is going to run through a Tavarua timeline with Dave Clark.
Bula, and hello everybody down here on site with Dave Clark, the original founder of Tavarua Island Resort. Great to have you down here, Dave.
Thank you, Joe.
It's always special to come here to this beautiful island because you're a school teacher and you teach us so much about the history, the culture, and our most important part, how to have a great time here on this beautiful island. Quickly, we go back in history, going back to the 1800s. After a couple of little fights, the island became in the hands of Druku's family and his ancestors. Then for about a few decades, there was a coconut plantation going on here on this beautiful island. And now getting caught up to your arrival back in the early 80s, we go to your very first visit on this beautiful island of Tavarua. You were teaching on Samoa, is that correct, during this time?
Yeah, my wife and I were high school teachers over in American Samoa in 79 and 80. A fellow teacher friend of ours that had a yacht, and he'd sailed by here and told us about it. So on our summer holiday, I asked him, hey, do you know any nice places you've seen in your adventures? And he said, yeah, there's an island called Tavarua. It's got a nice wave in front of it. You might want to go have a look. So we came over and camped for a couple months in 1982.
Do you still remember what it looked like, what boards you were riding way back then?
Yeah, we were riding single fins at the time. Tri-fins were just coming on, and pretty much the reef has stayed the same. It looks just like that, and when it's going, it's a pretty spectacular ride.
What a special visit, discovering one of the best waves in the world way back then. It came a year later where you brought a Zodiac and all of a sudden realized that there's this even better, bigger wave way out the back. How did you get out there, and who were you with?
Well, the deal is, like, you can wait on restaurants. It's not that consistent a spot. So when it would be flat here, we'd climb up in the trees down on the other side and look out to cloud breaks a couple miles out there, and you'd see this donut going off, and you'd go, wow, what is that? What is that cloud break out there? The ancestral name of cloud break is Nakuru Mailani, which translated from Fijian to English is thundercloud reef. So the ancients that named that, they called it thundercloud. We called it cloud break. So I always thought that was kind of an interesting lineup from then till now. Next year we came back. We weren't quite ready then. I was kind of at the end of just sussing out the spot. Came back with a Zodiac and went out there and saw that it was breaking in a way that she could surf. And it was kind of, terrible at the time because we didn't know about it. It's deep and it's just, kind of a new type of deal, jumping off the edge of a reef in the middle of nowhere. But slowly but surely worked our way into it, and it got better and better and better. We spent 3 months just watching it, and I didn't know if it was just a fluke or it'd be just a one-time swell. It had to be looked at over time to make sure it was a spot, so.
And you're camping the whole time. So you're out in the middle of the ocean. What sort of resources did you have? Were you guys pretty much on your own?
Yeah, no, we'd go over to the wells on the mainland and bring out, 10 gallons of water, carry it up and use it sparingly for showering and drinking and stuff. But it was great. It was like a Gilligan's Island type experience. It was really fun time.
And so obviously the free surfing trip's happening. Take us to that early dream, though.
But once we figured out cloud break was good, we approached the family, Druku's family, and asked if they would like to do a joint venture with us out here and try something new and different. And they said yeah. And so we approached the government and got permits to start in 1984 and built these first huts. Very limited budget. We had to borrow some money from the development bank here in Fiji. And if you can remember back in those days, like 82 or so, 83, interest rates were like 18, 20%. Yeah, very difficult economic time, like a deep recession. So, yeah.
And obviously a huge moment for all of Fiji was getting the first Fijian surfer, a man that we know as Chief Druku. Was it easy to convince him to go for his first surf?
Yeah, Druku was always ready to go at any time, anywhere. He had a great spirit, and he saw what we were doing and was just thrilled with it. And he goes, "Hey, you got to teach me how to do this. I want to learn." So we get out here at Kittyland. This is just right off the front of the restaurant. And I started pushing him in waves, and he took to it like a fish takes to water. And Druku's no longer with us. He passed last year. But he really took to it and did quite well.
You still feel his energy and that happy smile. That's just pure stoke right there. And
yeah.
Look how quickly he transitioned into some heavier conditions. Do you remember these sessions like it was yesterday, Dave?
Yeah. I don't know if I can remember this particular one, but I remember a lot of sessions with Druku, and he'd just get better and better. And he'd take some big gas out at cloud break, but come up smiling, and it would just make him even more hungry for it and get back out there and grab another one. He was quite a character.
Also, Ada being able to represent Fiji here as we look back to the 2013 Volcom Fiji Pro. How special is that for the local Fijians to see Ada represent Fiji against the top 34?
No, it's fantastic. I'm not sure when the wild card started going, but as far as the years go, but they've gotten better and better and better in their skills and been able to get into the competition. And there's a whole crew of kids coming up right now that are really showing a lot of promise and a lot of skill. And I think Fiji surfing is really going to take off here in the next few years.
Also seeing some of the beautiful faces of Tavarua from way back in the day. One thing you were telling me before, Dave, that some of these people have worked here ever since day one, and they have kids, and the next generation continues to work on Tavarua. How's that work? Yeah,
it's going on, 33 or so years. So a lot of the older staff has since retired or moved on, and their kids have grown up.
Really epic. All the way through. Vivaka Levu, Dave Clark, thank you so much for looking back in history with us. What are your hopes and dreams for this island, and what do you hope to see in the future?
Well, just keep doing what we're doing. Just keep on going. Try not to, change the theme too much. Just keep enjoying the surf and the island and the staff, and keep it going.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
We'll be asking you questions all week.
All right. Thank you.
Dave Clark, everybody, here representing Tavarua Island.
Thank you, Joe. That was awesome, having a little run through the memories from Dave Clark there. But one of the things that he said earlier on is, even though there's been a lot of changes on the island, the reef remains the same. Two of the best waves on the planet, the stage for the Fiji Pro Pots. But for you've visited here way back in the day. What are the big changes that you've noticed?
Well, I just think that, obviously it's grown a lot, beautiful bures and stuff like that. But for me, it's just, the waves. I mean, ocean's still beautiful and clean, and they've looked after it. There's very little imprint.
Absolutely. And Strider, what about you? What do you love most about coming to this island?
Honestly, just sitting down on the deck and talking to Dave Clark. It's one of those things where, he sits there, he's looking at the waves, and out of the corner of his eye, he sees a little wind ripple or something, or a cloud, and he's like, oh, yeah, it's going to swing around and come on shore in about 2 hours. And sure enough, in 2 hours, it's like, you get the wind. It's just amazing. And then to sit with somebody who knows so much about it. And what you said about the footprint, they really take so much care in not destroying and you know, leaving anything behind, and really opening up the reality that they love this place and they want to take care of it, and they want to keep it as beautiful as it was when they found it, which is the best part.
It sure is. All right, well, stay with us, because after the break we're going to have a look at Alejo Muniz's travel essentials. You're watching Dawn Patrol with Ronnie, Potts and Strider, and we are now going to give you a special insight. The Championship Tour competitors can spend up to 9 months on the road, so we asked Alejo Muniz to share with us what his essential travel items are. Check this out.
Hi, we are here in Tavarua, Fiji, stop number 5, and I'm gonna show you guys what I brought to the island. I have boards from 5'10" to 6'6". I think I can surf everything until it gets really huge. My shaper is Marcel Zovi, Sharp Eye surfboards. I've been riding his board for like 2 years now. I really like this 511. I rode it in my first heat. Already broke, but I fixed it here in the island. I don't leave home without these little saints, you know, they represent a lot to me. This one, it's really special. It's even broken. I still keeping it because my grandmother gave it to me a long time ago, and she passed away a few months back. And I even have a tattoo with the same one. The only thing I ask is for protection for my friends, my family, and myself included. And so I take them everywhere. Yeah, hopefully they bring the waves too. Every time I leave Brazil, I make sure I bring my camera. I really love taking pictures. This is the last one I got. It's a Hasselblad medium format. Already took every film I have here in Fiji. Every sunset, it's beautiful and different, so I'm always shooting sunsets here. But it's been great, amazing. These are some of the things I never leave home without it, so thank you for watching.
Alejo Munez there, an absolute gentleman, has already taken down one of the favourites in this contest in round 2. He defeated Julian Wilson. He's now up against the Jeep ratings leader in the last heat of round 3, Matt Wilkinson. How do you like his chances, Potts?
If he serves like he did in round 1, or round 2, I beg your pardon, I think he's got a good shot. You know, it's that whole backside hook in the pocket. I heard Matty Wilco's been doing a lot of training on the island. He's fired up and ready. I think it's really important for Matty Wilco to keep that mojo going, that momentum, but yeah, it's going to, I mean, whoever's going to get the wave is going to win. It's one of those heats that could go either way.
Strotter, just quickly.
Yes.
Travel essentials for you. You've always got a pretty interesting looking setup when you travel. What do you never leave home without?
Music. Coming to Tavarua, you need 2 things are the most essential thing: a good dry bag and a board bag. You need a single board bag to go on the boat, because your board will get thrashed unless you have a board bag. So you must have a little board bag for the
Good
boat,
tips.
right? Yeah.
Good tips for a trip to Tavarua. Expecting some solid swell in the last few days of the event window, and after the break we're going to have a look at what waves like that offer up here in Fiji. We're going to have a look at perfect heats from years past. Welcome back to the show. We know we're not going to see round 3 get underway, but it gives us a good opportunity to reflect on some magic moments in years gone by. Perfect heats, and one of the stars not with us this year, last year's event winner, Owen Wright. We're missing him dearly. Just put on a clinic out there in sizey conditions, Potts, and just put together some of the greatest moments that we've seen in competition.
I don't think anyone on the face of the planet was going to beat Owen Wright this day. I mean, you know, you probably have seen better 10-point rides in your life, but on the day, at the moment, you know, just what was happening out there, Owen Wright just literally manhandled the spot, comboed it up with turns, barrels. I mean, he was absolutely on fire, and it's one of those moments where in someone's career where you just see all those cylinders firing, and look at him. I mean, he was just playing with this thing.
Just the style that was on show, Strider. It's not a part of the criteria style, but Owen had it in handfuls of it through the rounds of this contest.
Yeah, his stature fit the wave perfect. You know, he really was enjoying his time out there, and every time he'd come back to the boat or to the jet ski for an interview, his energy and his smile was just unbeatable, and that was the part that I was truly enjoying, is that he was just loving the moment and just enjoying every bit of it. You can see it right there. I mean, that is pure stoke.
You know, Sean Thompson put it away where he said, when you're in the barrel, sometimes you feel like you control the wave, and I think Owen did that day.
Well, 2013 was a special year for waves, and Kelly Slater His incredible relationship with Cloudbreak was on show. He had a perfect heat in the quarters against Sebastian Zietz, and here's some of that vision.
Look at that wave. Are you kidding me? If we get some of this, boys, it is going to be a show like no others. Kelly just threading the needle, feeling the vibe, and he does kind of form the tube to himself. He just really drops it in there and somehow always finds a way out.
I mean, Ronnie, you said it yourself. I mean, he was millimetres away from 210s in the final as well against Mick. I mean, that was another great heat that he had as well. Let's not forget that.
We might pull up some of that vision in a moment, but here's a list of those surfers that have executed a perfect heat. Owen doing it twice in one day just last season, but here is some vision from that final. The first exchange was great. Mick had a mid-range 9-pointer on the first wave. Kelly Slater took off on this behind him. And for me, even though he doesn't make this wave, this is one of the greatest rides ever in competitive history.
Yeah, talk about going for it. I mean, you know, had he come out of that, like you said, that was going to be a 10, but you know, Kelly, when he's on fire, picking the right waves, I mean, he knows his plays better than anyone, controlling that situation, slowing himself down better than anyone, his positioning, his timing, talk about style. I mean, that was just a clinic as well.
How big do the waves, you know, look from that angle and you're looking up the face at it? I mean, they're just monsters. They come in and you're just so excited in the lineup, turning around for those things. Well, you have to be in the right mindset, I guess. Some people wouldn't be excited, would they?
Kelly is, I think, probably just praying for conditions like that, because in that situation, he's on another level. It doesn't matter how in form anyone else on the championship tour is. Once the waves get to that size, Slater is in full control. He dances with that lip perfectly. He puts himself, Strider, in really scary situations.
Yeah, he almost thrives on it. He just really puts himself in a place where he pushes himself there, I feel like, because he wants to test himself, because he's been in all the other places. He wants to go deeper, more upside down, more radical, later. It's one of those things when you're that good, you can actually put yourself there to see if you can still get even deeper, even heavier. So hats off to you, Slates. Still,
you know what, looking at the forecast, if Kelly can find his way to the quarterfinals on Friday, it's going to be pumping Cloudbreak. I mean, he could walk away with the win here.
He's hungry for that victory. We'll be here bright and early tomorrow morning with a chance of kicking off the third round. We'll see you then for Dawn Patrol.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.